Hi, I'm Jelle.
Hi, I'm Yvo.
Yvo, in the many careers that you've had, you've also been a product owner, right?
Yeah, true.
How did you like that?
It was great. Well, one of the upsides was that I got to work with a great team. It was quite a big team. We had 2 development teams and a functional team, and I was the product owner of that. And it was really great to cooperate with everyone and to collaborate and to create better software in a way. And also to be the bridge from the development team to the business and to the stakeholders, and to engage with all the stakeholders to create the right software. Yeah.
So, if we take a look at this picture, do you agree that a product owner should mainly be someone that takes requirements from stakeholders to developers and then says, okay, that's my job?
In a way, it can be like that. Of course, you have to get the information from the stakeholders and package that in the right way in user stories or things that you can discuss with the team so that the team knows what to do. But on the other hand, a product owner also really needs to have his own vision and goal. And of course, you get input from stakeholders, but you really have to direct the team in the right way, in the right direction, to guide them, to set a goal.
Right.
To say, okay, that's the thing that we want to achieve as a company or as a team.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
All right.
The why.
So I want to argue that, let's say that I, as a developer, I have well, not an obligation, but an opportunity to create and write better code and software because I am assisting my product owner. Because I'm looking at the product owner as part of my team, instead of looking at a product owner as basically just a funnel to the stakeholders or the wall of the team that's keeping out all the big bad people that want to tell me what to do.
Also, yeah.
And I want to augment my argument by going through a little bit of what a product owner is, in my opinion, and how what a product owner and their team do affect the quality of my code.
Yeah.
So, okay, product owners, Scrum. We could go like, okay, project managers maybe, team leads, ICT manager. I'm going to focus on product owner and see if there's applicability to other roles. But I tend to work in a lot of Scrum teams, or at least teams that claim that they're working Scrum and that have someone that has the title product owner in them. And product owners can do a lot of things wrong. I mean, I as a developer can also do a lot of things wrong. Product owners can do a lot of things wrong. There's a lot of pitfalls, and you could say, okay, well, the product owner should do better, and if they do better, then good, then they're doing their job. I'll focus on doing my job correctly. Yeah. That's an approach, right?
Yeah, things that a product owner can do wrong, for instance, is that the product owner is really someone with a business background that is actually working in the business department and is only part-time available to the development team and is not really part of the development team. Yeah. That is something that I've seen going wrong more often.
Yeah.
So you really need to be part of the team as well.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's a big one. But also, there's a lot of stuff where a product owner should build upon what the business is telling to create a clear vision, to communicate that vision clearly, to also not just treat the stakeholders as the source of truth, but also get back to the rest of the team, to the developers, and tell them, okay, let me know what your experiences are. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to increase the value you bring as a product owner, but my argument is that we should not think of the product owner as someone that's working on their own or working in isolation of the team. They're part of the team, and if the team is struggling with these kinds of pitfalls, then we need to tackle them as a team. Yep. So if a developer ever says, I was not allowed to work on a technical debt, and they did not mention this to the rest of the team, including the product owner, only once, then I will hold you accountable for that. So as a developer, we need to engage with the product owner and engage early, and that means that we need to be active in meetings. And even if it's not a technical meeting, the why of the product and the why of a feature is very, very instrumental in informing the correct way of how and what for the feature. Essentially, also, we're allowed as developers to say, I think that feature needs a bit of a redraft. The earlier we get the opportunity to do this, the better. But at least if potentially all the way down to refinement or even sprint planning, or even working on the feature in the sprint, or even when the feature has already been live for a few weeks, you can discuss, there is a lot of value in this and I want to understand what the value is, but there's a technical point of view as well, right? So the technical feasibility or the technical implementation also enforces.
And there can also be all kinds of edge cases that the product owner hasn't thought of. That as a developer, with your technical point of view, you think, okay, someone is going to use this form, but what if he wants to use it like that, for instance?
What if communication between the API that we're contacting and our server is lost? That's not something a product owner might think of the first draft, and we have an opportunity to help with, I want a clear error message, or I want a Netflix approach where then that just silently fails and we can continue on with the important stuff.
Product owners tend to think of happy flows.
Yes, and the developers also, but due to the nature of code, we're forced to
code. You can see some.
It's null here. What do I do? That's usually where I go to the product owner. So basically, there's a potential null reference, and in normal terms, that means that we might have lost the connection, or the data might have been corrupted. What do we do then? That's stupid. Why doesn't it just work? Sorry. This is what I want you to do. Good.
But Google has had it for years. Why can't we?
That's it, and that's when you engage. You do not walk away, but you engage with. Okay, so as soon as we have that many people working on it, we'll do that too. And I think we see this a lot. You're refining 25 stories in, 5 points, 8 points, 7. That's not correct. 21 points.
Depends.
I'm kind of done with this. Let's say we have another story. It looks feasible. Sure, 3 points somewhat. I'm done refining this. 3 points will make this work. As a team, you've lost the opportunity to clarify and to refine, and you'll as a team you will pay for this. It's not just a product owner that should have written a better user story. It is a chance to choose the correct how and the correct what, and
it's always very difficult to find the sweet spot between enabling specifications that you have enough information to implement it the right way, and over engineering, over designing the user story itself.
You need to remain agile, but you can't just wing it in many cases. If you can, good for you. That seems like a fun project, but usually you need to have some kind of agreement on why, how, and what before you start building, because otherwise you tend to end up with worse code, which is my argument.
And never-ending user stories.
And also technical debt. I'll focus on this more a bit on the next slide, but I think it's really important to be able to talk about technical debt without the product owner going, sounds like a you problem. You'll need to be able to communicate their language for this. And finally, integrating user feedback, stakeholder feedback. That's not just a product owner thing. You can set up your sprint review so that you share the application and developers look around. The users are actually, the stakeholders are actually working on the application, trying to do the stuff that you just built. And you can see them doing it and going, oh, that's how real humans function. Oh, we didn't build it like that.
Send your developers on a field trip. Cooperate with the actual users.
Yes, so I think there's a lot of, but also like just a pop-up. Hi user, how are you liking this new feature, 1 to 5? That's stuff that the developer could build and they could ask about.
I just want to close this annoying pop-up.
True, so I'm not saying that always works, but there's potential opportunities for developers to also help with integrating user feedback into that DevOps cycle, which is very, very important.
True.
So technical debt, to be able to explain it, there's a few different types. So we have environmental, oops, we need to update .NET 8. Versus design, oops, I accidentally built a microservice architecture, I really shouldn't have done so. planned. Okay, if we bring this to market now with the plasters and everything on it, then it doesn't.
We
work.
are live.
It's not great, but people can start using it. We'll resolve this later. Versus unforced. Oh, we did this wrong. Oh, why? Yeah, I don't know. We didn't notice. We new requirements entered or something. Okay, do we want to fix this? We have a problem with our DevOps. New developers enters the team. A week later, they're still trying to get the connection to the database to work. Versus code, technical debt. This code is not functioning well. And we have debt in documentation.
Lack of.
Yes, this is a given.
Or
usually.
there was documentation, but it hasn't been updated for the last 3 years.
Yes,
so,
and I filed this under technical debt because too much documentation is awful, too little is awful, wrong is awful, and it will impact the quality of your code and your software if the documentation is needed and not correct. So I want to illustrate my point by saying, you're my product owner, you've given me this story, we want to apply discounts to orders. If you're a premium member, this is the entire user story, apply 10% discount to the total order amount. And I'm like, sure, total order amount, I can do that. I have that 3 points, and can I now start doing my real job again? Can we end this refinement? Thank you. I did not ask for clarity, I did not engage, but you as a product owner, you're very happy with the story you wrote because it's short.
Yeah, we just need to give some discount to premium members.
How hard can it be?
Yeah.
So if we go into the code and we look at my implementation, I'll run this once. I've basically created a, let's call him Theo, I've created an order service that will process an order with a joint customer. Let's say that you paid 100 units of money, well, I've probably made
that's not 10%, that's a bug.
I've made a bug. Pretty sure that wasn't in there before. Oh right, I added this code. Let's comment it out. I've already worked for the future features that you will ask. And basically,
you ain't gonna need it.
I've written code that works, right? So it was indeed not that much work, and we there we go. Let's say that now we get the correct answer. Good. I've created a perfect code. Nothing wrong with this.
Approved,
I didn't
right
do unit tests, but it's not hard. And then you come with the kicker. Before I hit deploy, you say, by the way. It's all fun and dandy, but we also have a seasonal discount. Can you apply that as well? And we have a bulk order discount. Can you apply a further 5% discount for our big spenders? And I'm like...
And can you implement this sprint as well?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, it's the same. Fine.
Yeah, it's in the same use
Not
story,
asking
right?
for any more clarity, not asking for vision, just saying, fine, I'll do it. We're in a hurry. And this is why that code should have been commented out. I'll add the seasonal discount. I'll add the bulk order discount. Fine. If I now run it, I can just, let's say that I am doing an order. Yes, I'm also a premium member, and there's the 50. Right, good.
Nice.
That sounds great. I've gotten a nice discount. For those people that are paying attention, they might have already discovered a small bug.
Is this the 10% or the 5% or the...
Yeah, well... It's also not very clear for the customer why they're suddenly much cheaper off. But the bug is that the order of applying the discounts heavily matters, and I've basically just written them down in the order of when I received the requirements.
Yeah.
If I would have gotten a user story, or better yet, if we would have refined this story properly, and we would have shared vision and understand why, then we would have gotten a completely different user story. It would not have focused on the customer, but on the true reason that we want to build this. We have a discounting strategy.
We want to create customer engagement.
Yes. Why do we want to discount? Because marketeers tend to see that as possibilities to draw in more people. Okay, so we want to be flexible about this. Yes. Okay, so we want to do multiple discounts. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so then we have a discounting strategy, and it continues on. It's a bit bigger, so you could say it's less clear, but actually this will help me as a developer to build a better piece of software. Because if I now go to my second implementation in this hypothetical
business service, order processing service.
Future, yeah. I again, there's a lot of the same classes, but this is really basic stuff. It's not like I discovered Gravity here, but we now loop over a strategy of discounts, a collection of discount strategies, and I apply the discount for each strategy in order. And also I've thought about, if the order matters, then we should have the original amount of costs always available as well. So I've added a new property to the order that we have the full price amount that basically that's the original amount. Okay, so we can use that. And now if I run the code, it's basically, it's a bit more setup, but it's very flexible. I can, here I just add all of them, but I could have all kinds of different ways of interacting with my code, making it configurable or variable or flexible in ways that I didn't have in my original design, in my original code.
No,
so
you just hard-coded some values there.
Right.
And here it is, of course, you have hard-coded these values as well.
But that's because I'm very
You can imagine
lazy.
that you read them from a configuration.
Yes, so here the extendability is much greater, and I think everyone, you can look up this repository yourself, everyone would agree that this is better code. It's not good code, but it's better code. So we're going in the right direction, and I think the reason is not because I'm a better developer. Well, I am a better developer, but not because I write better code, but because I discuss things with the rest of the team, including the product owner, better. And
the result is the right code.
Yeah, we're building the right thing. The other thing was accidentally right, but this is still the right thing, but we're also building it the right way because we're building the right thing.
Yeah.
If we do not spend time on figuring out what the right thing is, if we get more certainty on that, then we have more time to build the thing right.
Up front, it costs a bit more time, but it pays back.
It's the same as with a bug. If you introduce a bug and you find it early, that up front, that's a lot of time that you spend on fixing that bug in the requirements, for example. But it's a lot more time if you have to do it on production. The same is with clear requirements. And usually, when the requirements were unclear, we call them bugs later, because clearly that's not what I meant, right? So that's basically my argument. We really should be, as developers, we should be assisting and collaborating with our product owners instead of seeing them as the pawn of the enemy. Yeah.
The proxy to get some requirements in.
Correct. Yeah. So basically, that's my argument. I would love to hear if you agree. I would love to hear even more if you disagree.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.